فقال تعالى فاتقوا الله وأصلحوا ذات بينكم فقال تعالى إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم. The Islah is coming from the word of sulh, and sulh means peace or some kind of agreement to bring two people together. They have a dispute or they have some kind of disagreement. So another person is job is as a Muslim to bring two fighting people or to disputing people together and to solve the problem. So sulh uh, as a it is one of the major service of Islam each other. So first sulh is coming to me and I supposed to care about myself. فَأَصْلِحُوا ذَاتَ بَيْنِكُمْ. Yani you have to be mindful about what is better for you. Yani the sulh of the word, if I define a little bit more, it is coming from maslaha. Maslaha means which has some benefit. And opposite to it, mafsada, madarrat, something which is harmful. So Islamic, level of deen are two. One is which we call ibadah, ta'abbud. So in ta'abbud, we are asked to do as it is. So maslaha in ibadah will be to do it as it is, without any change, without any addition. Right? But another maslaha which is, suppose we are debating in our usual activities, our dealings, relations, what is better? And of course, any situation is combination of good and bad. Not 100% khair, not 100% shar. Both. But we actually judge according to the major part of it. Just suppose, for example, if you say fast, right? We are asking to fast. We say, okay, we debate. It is better to do or not to do. Right? No, it is the issue Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided. But then we say, okay, for example, we can suppose if I'm sick or I'm traveling, so it is good to do or not to do. So maybe the issue will be under debate. So maslaha is actually in Islam considered three maslaha. One is individual maslaha, and other one is collective, right? And these are common and in Islam and others. Also, they say this is my personal right, my collective duty, and so on. So when there is some kind of conflict between the individual maslaha and collective, so in Islamic understanding that what is my essential duty, the individual maslaha will be first. Right? If I say, okay, I miss my salat and I take care about someone that time, or I serve some kind of community services, so this is not maslaha. But in the sense of extra thing, nawafil, to benefit others is more rewardful than to care about personal things. But when there's a Islamic understanding that there's a maslaha for individual and maslaha for jama'ah, so sometimes maslaha of jama'ah bigger. Just like suppose, for example, jihad, right? My maslaha to save my life. But now need is to sacrifice. So in this way, the maslaha will be effective in that way. The third maslaha, which is only in Islam, not others, maslaha of akhirah. And mostly in dunya, we live with which is benefit to me, which is good to me, right? But for me, it is my limit. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking me to take care about akhirah as well. So suppose if I'm living in dunya, doing everything for dunya, not caring about akhirah, so it is not maslaha. But if I'm taking care about akhirah, so it is not to reject dunya, but to combine. But the issue is that which is one, which is first. Ma qaddamat wa akharat. Right? Dunya is first, and akhirah is next. But my preference will be akhirah first and dunya next. So this is also maslaha. So mostly in human to human life, there are always some misunderstanding, some can say dispute. So Islamic perspective is that we supposed to do something to remove it and to make the issue. So it means that there must be in Islamic understanding three groups. Two groups are fighting, but there must be a third group to, suppose for example, come forward, right, and do something to remove the issues. And Islamic understanding is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the first ayah, if suppose you are sitting, we are sitting here and two people are whispering to each other. And sometimes it is an act of shaitan. Shaitan want to make that like a bad feeling to others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you are whispering, it should be only that you are asking that this person needs something, can help, or maruf, or some person doing something, need to know something. So all to do some islah. Oh, these people are not talking to each other, right? They are not, for example, feeling comfortable with each other. Can we do something? So in this way, the islah is very, very important point of Islam. And so there are mostly the maslaha is happening in man-to-man relation, man-to-wife relation, man to, yani for example, community relation. But the most important point Islam focus on the family relation, husband and wife relation, right? And this is the reason why you can see that in these days, first situation we are facing, that family problem increase and nobody taking care about it. So just like a disease is started, if you do cure early, it will help. But when it grow up and become complicated, then it is the issue. So we have in family life in three stages before we go to the final stage. The first stage to solve problem between husband and wife without reaching to others, because many things it not good to expose to others. The first thing is that to make themselves, and this is the reason why many times people in these days we are become very, very human centric, right? And we are caring about the rights. So when Quran says husband can beat wife, oh, it is not good. So we change the word or change the meaning of word. No, it is not. It is actually to giving authority to husband, but it not means you have to do it. Not means it is like a warning or cautiousness. And this is the reason why I always say that when you say Quran says go and beat your wife, it is hukum, right? Now see the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how he was beating his wives. Beat his wife? Never. So it means what? It means that this is a hukum, but it's supposed to be a kind of warning, not to, just like you have something in your pocket, revolver. It not means you have to kill. So it means, for example, first criteria is to make sulh between husband and wife themselves. This is the first. Suppose this is not working. So the next islah will be, suppose one person from husband side, one wife side, right? Bring them, so they will do sulh. In yurida islahan yuwaffiqillahu bainahuma. If they are really intending to make sulh, Allah will give them the way to reach to that thing. If these two things are not working, then to go to, suppose for example, qazi or court or some kind of legal kind of arbitration, mediation. If not working, then it is the issue that a person goes to divorce, suppose. In our situation now, the last thing become first. Anything happen, very tiny thing, no, divorce. And then what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't intend. I didn't plan. I was not my. No, it is not the issue. The issue, the something, the word is gone. When gone is gone. Rasulullah said in Hadith, Salasun jadduhunna jaddun wa hazluhunna jaddun. Three things. If you do in a serious way, it is serious. If you do in a joking way, it is serious. So in that sense, the Islah is, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala considered the worst thing a person try to, suppose for example, divide husband and wife. يفرقون بين المرء وزوجه, right? They do something to spread some kind of rumors, some kind of, the bad thing and so on, and the family relation become. So in that sense, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Basulhu khair." If you accept, and sometimes it is very important, two things very important. One thing is that mediation means not to fulfill your all demands. Right? You have demand, this person has demand. So third person may say, okay, this demand is okay, but not this one. Or you're supposed to lose this thing, or you're supposed to agree on this thing, right? So it means, for example, there will be give and take. Right? It is not 100%. Second thing, which is very important, that arbitrator has his own way to solve the issue. Right? If you say, I put condition, if you do this way, I will accept your arbitration. It's not working. Right? It had no sense. So in that sense, Islam considered this thing very, very important part of our Islamic service to make our relation better. Right? Especially in family life. And then the second part is in the ikhwa. We have a brotherhood. One brotherhood based on blood relation, right? We like it or not like, we are part of it. We cannot deny it, right? We have some kind of, you can say, based on some nationalities, some regions. Islamic brotherhood based on ideology. If I'm not believing in ideology, brotherhood cannot survive, right? It is supreme, but it will be supreme when Islam will be our target. So brotherhood not denying the blood relation or other relation is not the issue, but the issue is that this brotherhood is supposed to be our prime goal to achieve it. So فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ, yani the problem is when happen, you have to behave in a way to remove it, correct it. Otherwise, it is growing and so on. And there's a reason, very hadith, suppose one hadith says, if that's not good, if you have some dispute and you don't talk to some person for 3 days, right? Or some kind of, these kind of guidelines. So this is one of the very, very big issue, and especially I feel, it is my experience here, that we are coming from our different countries. We have contact there. We have established system there. Now we are here just like fresh. What happened when we have some kind of problem, I don't know whom I trust, whom I go to talk. And then the issue become worse and worse. So it is also one of the Muslim society's responsibility to establish a system of arbitration. Can I give you, I think maybe many of you knows or not knows, it happened. We have a history of this kind of thing. Just I give you history. Around the beginning of 2004 or this time or before, one brother, he was a very, very famous person in Pakistan. He came here. So he noticed that the Muslim community needs some kind of Darul Qada, some kind of, judicial court to arbitrate, to mediate about the family. So he established this system, and he was going to, and in Canadian court system, judicial system, arbitration is better than judicial ruling. And even the judge will ask you if you are ready, for example, to take some mediation. I can refer to it. So this is a part of judicial system. But what happened that time, we have a bad elements among Muslims also. So when this effort is going on, so they say, oh, they are bringing Sharia here. And now the legal court will null and void. And then government just like become pressurized. So they remove the mediation issue. And one professor from the university, she did research about the mediation in Islam, and she wrote a book. And she said that this is the best thing to save family. But political, things are different. So I'm saying, for example, one thing which is very important that how our masajid, our centers, supposed to make also a kind of, room for mediation and so on. Because saving family here, most important. Why? In our country, suppose the kid may be taken by aunt, by grandmother, grand so and so, but here, lost, right? And so, in that sense, for example, this Islah is very, very important thing. It is a very weak thing, but it is really, if we give it weight, it will be strong. So, this is, point is one of the issue which is sometimes we are not taking care about it. So, first hadith says, كل سلامة من الناس عليه صدقة كل يوم تطلع فيه الشمس تعدل بين الاثنين صدقة وتعين الرجل في دابته وتحمله عليها أو ترفع له عليها متاعه صدقة والكلمة الطيبة صدقة وبكل خطوة تمشيها إلى الصلاة صدقة وتميط الأذى عن الطريق صدقة. وفي حديث وتعدل بينهما. The Abu Hurairah reported that Rasulullah SAW said, every joint of body organ is you have to pay sadaqah for it. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving you woke up in morning and you are healthy. You are suppose for example you have no pain, nothing there, so you pay just like be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So every day if you make adl man, for example, you mediate with justice. You hear both of them and you see which is wrong, which is right, and then you can say this is the way out for it. And you help someone. He suppose, for example, he is carrying some heavy thing, and you help him to just put in his car or something. Or someone, for example, he's taking something, and you help him to carry his luggage or whatever. And even saying some good words, sadaqah. And even you are walking one step after a step to masjid, it is sadaqah. Now we can say how we are not taking steps. No, that's not the issue. The issue it is an idiomatic word. So when your car is running, Allah knows and angels knows how many spaces you are taking. And you if remove something which is hurting people, it is also sadaqah. And mostly our attitude now is to throw something to tease people. We throw garbage in front, we throw tissue paper, we leave for example, empty glasses, we don't care. No, sadaqah is to remove it, to make it, for example, to keep the thing clean, especially masjid. So in that sense, Rasulullah said that all things you can get, but how it will be sadaqah? First thing, I make my niyyah. If I want to do it for the sake of Allah, then it will be sadaqah. I'm just taking care about my health because it is health reason. It is good for, no, it is not sadaqah. But sadaqah will be if I say, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored me, blessed me. And then I have to be, for example, do to please Him. And second thing, sadaqah will be that I use my body for good thing. Right? If I'm a person, no, a young man was passing by from Rasulullah sallam, they said, mashallah, this young man, it was good if he goes for jihad. Rasul said, no, if he is taking care about his family, it is jihad. He's caring about for example, this and many things. So in that sense, for example, I do something with intention, good intention, and to make it, to achieve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thing, it will be sadaqah. وفي رواية أم كلثوم بنت عقبة ابن أبي معيط رضي الله عنها قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول ليس الكذاب الذي يصلح بين الناس فينمي خيرا ويقول خيرا. The person who is trying to bring two people together and he is lying. So Rasul said it is not considered a sinful thing. How you will lie? And just suppose, for example, two people are not talking to each other. You went to one person, he said, you know what? I was sitting with the other brother and he was very talking, very good thing about you. And actually he was feeling pain, something or some kind of these things. And you are not saying truth, but you are trying to make the heart tend, acceptable, tender. So it is good thing. So kazib in Islam is very bad thing. But it means here your intention is not to spread some bad thing or some kind of envy or jealousy, but you are drinking something. So Rasul said you can do this thing. And other hadith also about the mortem. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said this thing, this kind of lying will be allowed in three things. Either in war, you want to hide some secret and you're not disclosing it, so you're getting some other way. It called in Arabic tawriya. It is not lie, it is tawriya. Tawriya means you are saying a word means two things. So you intend one thing, other person understand other way. That Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was going for war. He said, we are going a place where there's a lot of water. So enemy or suppose a spy, they think he's going this way. And he means other way. So it called tawriya. Tawriya means you are actually hiding your real thing. And the word is giving two meanings. So it is okay. Same thing about the doing, for example, patch up between the men and between husband and wife. This is very thing hadith. عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قال سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صوت خصوم بالباب عليه أصواتهما عالية أصواتهما وإن أحدهما يستودع الآخر ويسترفقه في شيء وهو يقول والله لا أفعل فخرج عليهما رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال أين المتألي على الله لا يفعل المعروف فقال أنا يا رسول الله فقال فله أي ذلك أحب. And two people were disputing. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam outside of his home and the voice coming inside. So one person seeking, he was very, very apologizing and very, seeking his apology, regretting and so on. Other person, no, by the name of Allah, I will not do this thing. I will not, for example, do this thing. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam come out from his home. He said, who is saying by swearing Allah's name that he is arrogant to accept it? Who is this one? He said, I. So he said, you don't want to do maruf? He said, oh Rasulullah, no, I am accepting. So it means, for example, the person, of course, we have a ego, right? Personal kind of grudge and so on. These things happen. And shaitan increase it. It makes it fueling, right? But if the person said, no, Rasulullah said, are you swearing with Allah's thing and you don't want to take good thing? Who said, no, I'm accepting. So sometimes it happened that, war means win, right? You have to win. But if you are winning when you are defeating yourself or defeated, unless one that accept it is a winning, it is better. Suppose in two discussion, I surrendered something for other person and the issue solved. I lost something, but really I won. So in that, for example, relation, the winning, this is the issue of winning or defeating. The issue is to removing the thing and so on. So in this way, this is some of the best part of Islamic teachings. And inshallah, we will continue. Jazakumullahu khairan.